yes, 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 finally. Finally. So, as a lot of you know, Nintendo is having their little Nintendo Direct tomorrow, and they specifically said that they will be talking about Three Houses, which is finally. The last announcement we got was like back in like June, like back in E3 or whatever, and that's all the info we got, and we've been waiting forever for anything. Like, and all the Smash fans that I've been seeing around Twitter or whatever are all like, "Oh man, I really don't want them to spend time on freaking Fire Emblem because I want there to be another Smash announcement." I mean, can't you just relax with the game you have right now and let people who are have been waiting for any info on a certain game for like way longer to finally like get the info they want? Like, we know nothing about Three Houses. We don't know the plot. We know like three, four characters, and we saw a whole bunch of new stuff that we have no idea what it does. It was never explained. It was just some cinematic with some words and cryptic language that we really couldn't understand because we had no idea what the plot was. And so now that we're getting this big E3 reveal, not E3 reveal, freaking direct, that specifically states is going to be talking about Three Houses and a bunch of other titles. I'm like, okay, I might as well, since a lot of people I know also talk about the direct, but they aren't interested in the Fire Emblem aspect. I'm going to talk about the Fire Emblem aspect just so they have to listen to me talk. I need a gush about Fire Emblem. Alright, I actually have myself a bingo sheet of things I expect and things I hope for. So, right at the gate, I expect there to be amiibos. With the past couple Fire Emblem games, we've had amiibos, and generally the amiibos will give you a character from a previous Fire Emblem game, which I am perfectly okay with. Like, if we get amiibo support for like the Fire Emblem amiibo again, then sure, we could have like Tiki playable or Robin or whatever. Sure, I'm fine with that. I honestly hope they do bring back S supports because I'm more of a somewhat casual player. I play. Of course, I like playing. I prefer playing on classic. It's much more interesting that way. It allows me to think a bit more. But in the case of playing on, I just prefer the 3DS ones, specifically just Awakening. Awakening is the one Fire Emblem game I've played like many, many times, and I still can't get enough of it. So I really hope that they work as supports perfectly. Again, I hope they bring in the Avatar character, and I hope that the Avatar character doesn't just isn't like the big center of the story like in Awakening and Fates. I really enjoyed with Fire Emblem 7 how the the characters would talk to the player every once in a while, but the player didn't play a huge role. The player gave directions, and they didn't like take over the story and weren't like. It was about the three characters who were fleshed out, and the player character didn't really say or do much because they didn't need to, because it's not their story. I really hope that the new Fire Emblem game isn't just about our player character, if we get one. And from the looks of it, if the teacher is the player character, it seems like they might not be that big of a role. I think it's going to be more focused on Eldegard, and I really hope that it is. I'm expecting there to be new classes, mostly around the new lords, because I believe we're going to get like 3 lord units or whatever. and which would be in the same vein as Fire Emblem 7, which I'm fine with that. And then we got. I'm thinking there's going to be something related to Tiki. In the trailer, we saw this lolly dragon sleeping on a throne, and Tiki's the only dragon known for sleeping a lot. And she has green hair like Tiki, and she has the crown like Tiki. So she's likely going to relate to Tiki in some way, or be just something similar, like a divine dragon or whatever. Next, I'm thinking, like how they did with Fates, they made an Awakening map. I'm thinking we're going to get something similar, like a Fates map or whatever, probably relating to Corrin. Then, okay, as for, I have like 3 characters here. I'm thinking we're, of course, going to get a little... I'm thinking they're going to follow a few practices from previous games, like having this cute little character who's constantly upbeat and whatever, that might be killed for dramatic effect. Then we got, I'm hoping, not really hoping, I just want to see from whatever info we get, who's the best, like, who, in my opinion, is best girl or whatever. Next, I'm pretty sure, following Camilla's success, like, Camilla is super popular within the community, and also super popular to hate. So I'm guessing we're going to get a character that's somewhat similar to Camilla. Like, just the same kind of trope. Not Camilla herself, but just someone similar. Then, I'm thinking we'll likely get something just something relating to Super Smash Brothers in terms of 3 houses. Likely a spirit. More than likely a spirit. I'm thinking we're going to get, like, exclusive spirits if you own the game. Like, maybe an Eldegard spirit. Then we got dragons. I'm thinking there's going to be dragons. Of course, there's Tiki and all that, but maybe dragons will be somewhat important to the plot. Like, sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. It all depends on what Fire Emblem game you talk about. I'm thinking we're going to be introduced to a new MacGuffin, much like the Yato or whatever. Fire Emblem games either have the Fire Emblem as their MacGuffin or just something completely random. Oh yeah, also, for some reason the Yato is also the Fire Emblem, and it's just weird. And if we don't get a new MacGuffin, I'm also guessing we're going to get the Fire Emblem as our MacGuffin. I think there's also going to be like some DLC announced, and I really hope there isn't day 1 DLC. I don't want there to be DLC. I'm also predicting there's going to be more than one version of the game, like how they did with Fates, because that printed money. And having more than one version of the game with different units, just... don't do it. Don't do this to us. They took... I am still mad they made Revelation like they don't sell hard copies of it, because I wanted all 3 routes, and I had both Birthright and Conquest. I'm like, okay, I'll just use those to get Revelations as well, and I can't get Revelations because that isn't being sold in hard copy. I'm gonna guess that archers are still gonna be bad units. The archers are just bad in general. Maybe if they get like 1-2 range, then like maybe they'll be somewhat viable. I'm thinking child units are gonna get a return. I don't mind them. I know a lot of people who really don't like their inclusion, but honestly, I think they allow for some more interesting characters and units to be created. I'm thinking we might get something that we're like, why did you add this? What was the point? And it's also going to fall under the gimmick category. I'm thinking we might get a new gimmick, and I believe that we really are because of the whole army thing and the formations we saw and the whole new magic selection thing. This Fire Emblem is going to be really different. I know that for sure. I'm hoping we get like the Forge from Tellius games. It was probably one of the best forges in all of Fire Emblem. It's just much more deep and allows for some more interesting creations. We might get. I'm hoping we get Milla's Turn Wheel again. Makes classic mode so much better to play because normally if a unit dies, you just completely reset and you have to start the map all over. And then, but with Milla's Turn Wheel, you just retry the turn, do something different, which is miles better. I also have on here that we're actually gonna get something cool, a cool new addition they'll make people go, yo, yeah, that's awesome. I'm fine with that, yo. However, and I have two plot projections in here as well. I think that the story might have this corrupt or evil leader in one of the three houses or whatever. We're gonna have to take that guy down, and here comes Dragon. Welcome to Fire Emblem. And the other one, I believe that the crests are going to be to blame. They're wrong, teacher. They're very wrong. I think that's everything I have to cover. I honestly can't wait for the direct. I may make a video following the direct where I just talk about things. Talk about things that stood out to me. I am really excited for Three Houses, and I really hope that it blows our expectations away, because I'm going to try to keep my expectations as low as Fate's. Fate was bad. So bad. Well, see you all later.